saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword, and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand, or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
You're listening to One Man from Ohio.
Symptoms of being asleep are: haven't read the Bible, care nothing about God, uneducated on worldly events, ignorant and simple-minded, has cursing as a second language, loves money and earthly things, cares only for one's self, is not saved by Jesus.
Demand from the House the impeachment, the immediate removal of the President of the United States.
Finally from us this evening, technology on the cutting edge. We were interested today to hear that more than 100 law enforcement officials in Mexico are having microchips implanted in their arms. The chips allow a person to be scanned, sort of like a cereal box at the supermarket checkout. In Mexico, this will be one more tool in the fight against crime. Here's ABC's John McKenzie.
You've seen it before, right out of Hollywood.
Maybe a little uncomfortable.
A microchip inside the body. A hidden, high-tech identification tag.
They're the access codes to your drop spot.
Now, Mexico's Attorney General and 160 of his deputies have had microchips implanted in their arms to control access to the country's new Criminal Investigation Center. It is to provide access, said the Attorney General, to the right people in exclusive areas where there is valuable, sensitive information. The microchip, the size of a grain of rice, is injected under the skin and gives off a low-frequency radio wave. A scanner reads each chip's identification number to verify an official's security clearance.
The microchip is tamper-proof, it's secure, no one can take your microchip and use it to their advantage to gain access to your facility.
The chip, developed by Applied Digital Solutions, is similar to those used in the U.S. to identify and return runaway dogs. In humans, it can have several uses.
Little stick.
The chips can also be programmed to carry medical information. The one in this patient details his blood type, allergies, and the fact he has Alzheimer's disease. The device is now awaiting approval from the Food and Drug Administration. Some researchers are developing microchips for use in the home so that wearing one can turn on lights and open doors. Hands-free. The next step, say researchers, is developing an implantable chip with a global positioning system to track people miles away, whether kidnapped or lost, just as cars can now be traced. A kind of LoJack for the body. John McKenzie, ABC News, New York.
That is our report on World News Tonight. I'm Peter Jennings. We hope you have a good evening. Good night.
It appears to me that something very ominous may be underway deep inside the national security infrastructure of the United States of America. Barack Obama has fired 2 high-ranking U.S. military commanders in charge of America's nuclear warhead arsenal. First, Major General Michael Carey was fired for personal behavior while on temporary duty outside his usual command. Air Force officials declined to identify the personal behavior, but said it does not involve sex, drugs, gambling, or criminal activity. General Carey was commander of the Air Force 20 unit that oversees 450 intercontinental ballistic missiles stored at 3 locations in the United States. The Air Force said his dismissal was not related to operational readiness, inspection results, nor sexual misconduct. According to the statement, General Kerry was relieved as commander of the nuclear ICBMs due to a loss of trust and confidence in his leadership and judgment. Now, General Kerry is not the only nuclear warhead commander fired by Barack Obama this week. Days ago, it was revealed that the Mac Daddy fired the deputy commander of the U.S. Strategic Command, STRATCOM, the command that oversees all U.S. nuclear warfighting forces, is headquartered in Omaha. Vice Admiral Timothy Giardina was accused of betting with counterfeit poker chips at a casino. Although Admiral Giardina's firing was announced this week, buried deep into the news articles is the revelation that the firing actually happened last month on September 3rd. Now let's go back 1 month and recall one of the big news stories that we reported in the first week of September. Keep in mind that war fever was white hot as John McCain and Lindsey Graham beat the war drums, working hand in hand with Barack Obama in a propaganda campaign to start a war in Syria. Most of you will recall that I reported this news story in the first week of September. I'm reading directly from a CBS News, a Charlotte, North Carolina television affiliate website dated September 3, 2013. It said, South Carolina U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham says he's convinced that Syrian President Assad used chemical weapons on his own people. Graham told reporters in Goose Creek on Tuesday that taking action against Syria in response to the situation is not a question of yes or no, but rather a question of bad or worse choices. Now listen to this next statement. He says if there is no U.S. response, Iran will not believe America's resolve to block Iran from developing nuclear weapons. Graham also says those nuclear weapons in the hands of terrorists could result in a bomb coming to Charleston Harbor. He says he's working to convince South Carolinians weary of war that the situations in Syria and Iran are linked. Graham said Syria could destabilize the entire Middle East. Again, that was a report posted on the website of the CBS News or CBS television affiliate in Charlotte, North Carolina, dated September 3rd. What else was happening on September 3rd? Well, there was an internet rumor on the same day which started circulating before Lindsey Graham made this remark. The rumor was that a high-level military intelligence officer had warned that nuclear warheads were being shipped to South Carolina from a Texas Air Force base under a secretive black op transfer for an unknown assignment. Just happened that rumor started on the same day prior to Lindsey Graham trying to scare the you-know-what out of citizens in South Carolina, saying, hey, if we don't start that war in South Carolina, if we don't start that war in Syria, well, those terrorists are probably going to bring a nuclear bomb to Charleston Harbor and blow up this entire place. So let's summarize these items. Number one, September 3, an internet rumor alerted citizens that a black op project was underway to move nukes from Texas to South Carolina. Number two, on the same day, September 3, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham tried to frighten the people of South Carolina into supporting his demand that the U.S. attack Syria. He told citizens that if the U.S. didn't attack Syria, eventually a nuclear bomb would be smuggled into Charleston Harbor. Number three, on the same day, Barack Obama fired Admiral Timothy Giardina, allegedly for using fake poker chips in a casino. Admiral Giordino was deputy commander of STRATCOM. Number 4, we're told today that the Mac Daddy fired General Carey, who was commander of Air Force 20, overseeing its 450 ICBMs. He was removed for loss of trust and confidence. 2 high-level commanders with control and oversight over hundreds of nuclear warheads, both of them fired by Barack Obama under some very fishy, suspicious circumstances. One, for using fake poker chips in a casino. Really? They fired a nuclear commander over fake poker chips in a casino? I really don't buy that story. And the general was fired for loss of confidence and trust. Well, lost in confidence by whom? The Mac Daddy. Why did the Mac Daddy lose confidence and trust in him? I think there are 2 possibilities. Number 1, perhaps both of these commanders stood up and got in the way of the Mac Daddy. Was there a black op project underway last month to set off a nuclear bomb in a major American city, to blame it on terrorists in order to justify another war in the Middle East, and to tighten security inside the United States and take away more of our constitutional rights? Number 2, was there an attempted military takeover underway to arrest Barack Obama and remove him from the White House as a traitor who is intent on destroying the republic? If patriotic military commanders were indeed plotting to remove Obama's communist regime, they would have to lock down America's nuclear arsenal to prevent Obamanista infiltrators and sympathizers inside the military and the intelligence agencies from seizing control of the nuclear arsenals during a national crisis over the military seizing control of the White House. If not, the Obaministas would seize the nuclear arsenals and threaten to blow up American cities if Barack Obama was not returned to power. Were General Carey and Admiral Giordino secretly working with a top-secret alliance of U.S. military commanders to rescue the American people from the Obamanista communist revolution? All of this is troubling in the light of the tension throughout the nation over Obamacare, intelligence agencies spying on Americans, the shutdown of government agencies, the National Park Service Rangers exchanging their green uniforms for Nazi brown shirts, the disgraceful treatment of World War II veterans, the intimidation of senior citizens visiting national parks, the cutoff of death benefits to families of soldiers killed in combat, and the pressure to increase the debt ceiling with no cuts in government spending. Yesterday, it appeared that the government shutdown and debt ceiling debate would end today or tomorrow. House Speaker John Boehner caved in and told House Republicans yesterday morning he would offer a 6-week extension of the debt ceiling with no preconditions on Mr. Obama, such as delaying Obamacare for 1 year. The only precondition was that Mr. O had to promise to talk nice to the Republicans later about the budget. Mr. Boehner and his lieutenants marched off to the White House last night to see the Great Oz. When they got there, the Great Oz wouldn't agree with them. The New York Times reported that the Great Oz rejected the compromise offer. The headlines were softened by morning to say that no agreement was reached, but at least both sides were talking. Apparently, Mr. Boehner doesn't understand that he's dealing with a psychopath.